This class is called Balance, and the theme is balance. So just as much as we move, we'll also rest. A reminder that day to day, just as much as you do, you should also just let yourself be. Of course, balance looks different on everybody, so we will explore balance that helps build physical stability to take on standing balancing poses, as well as an arm balance known as crane or crow or Bakasana in Sanskrit. And we'll also explore some additional interpretations of balance, which hopefully can offer us some new perspectives. So, to balance the poses that we'll practice in the sequence, because we'll finish in lying, we're going to get started in standing. So come to standing somewhere near the front of the mat. And at first, you need more stability, separate your feet. If you have pretty good balance, go ahead and test your balance. Bring your feet together, big toes to touch. Give yourself a moment to arrive, gaze forward in front of you, lower your shoulder blades down your back. Maybe close your eyes if you feel comfortable. And just feel balanced in your standing 2 feet. Take a breath in. And on the exhale, go ahead and lower your gaze for me somewhere to the floor in front of your 2 big toes. Start by pressing the big toes down into the floor, and then all the other 4 toes on each foot down into the ground. Press the pinky toe edges of your feet into the floor, your heels into the floor. Even encourage the inner arches of your feet to press down. Now feel this grounding you've created by pressing your feet into the floor beneath you. Feel how this stabilizes your lower half, but equally holds you up, and how you lift and feel that lifting energy in your upper half of your body. So hold here and feel those 2 opposing energies hold us upright simultaneously. Take a breath in. Exhale, stabilize, and ground down. Inhale, lift your arms up over your head, and then leave a space the size of a basketball between your 2 palms. First, arrive, and then as you inhale again, reach your right fingertips as high as you can. Breathing up and along the right side of your body, from your right foot into your right fingertips, reach, reach, reach. And then exhale back to center and keep that space the size of a basketball between your hands. Take another inhale, and this time lift the left fingertips as high as you can. Breathing up and along from the left foot, up the left leg, up the left side, across the rib cage, armpit, and all the way up the arm into the fingertips. Breathe here. And then exhale back to center. Bring your hands together and lower your hands in a prayer position in front of your heart center, Anjali Mudra. And when we say heart center, we're acknowledging that the body is centered around the heart. And mudras are hand gestures, but sacred. So Anjali Mudra, when we bring our palms together like this, looks like we're greeting someone or showing a sign of gratitude or a prayer. But Anjali Mudra is supposed to resemble a lotus blossom with its petals folded together. And the lotus blossom represents our hearts. So when we bring our hands together like this to form Anjali Mudra, we're gesturing that we honor our heart's intentions. So to connect intentions to the theme of balance, I suggest we consider what intentions are. So rather than goals, which focus on future outcomes, intentions set our focus on how we aim to be in the present moment. So our hearts may intend for us for the next hour to just focus on ourselves. If there's anyone else in the room, to just not look at them or think about them. Our hearts may intend for us to focus on our bodies, focus on how things feel, and not how they look. Or our hearts may intend for us to simply just breathe, to do what we can, and just to remind ourselves to breathe. So, bring your hands together, form Anjali Mudra at your heart center. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes, and give yourself a moment to honor, to consider your heart's intentions. What does your heart intend for you to help you focus on yourself for the next hour? Don't think too much about it. Just breathe into your heart space. And on the exhale, carry your Anjali Mudra up over your head, biceps near your ears, and let your shoulder blades drop down your back, shoulders away from your ears. From here, inhale, reach a little bit higher, up from your feet, up your body. And then as you exhale, crescent moon, arc over to the right side. Imagine you're arcing over a big beach ball on your side. So rather than collapsing, lift and lengthen. Breathe up and along the left side of your body. Stay for the exhale. And inhale back to center. Inhale, reach, ground and stabilize through your lower half. Lift through your upper half and then arc over, crescent moon to the left. Again, breathe up and along your right side from your foot into your fingertips here. Stay for the exhale and inhale back to center. Hands return to your heart center, and we've arrived at our first balance challenge. So balance is essentially just a juggling of asymmetries in our bodies as well as in our lives. Things rarely go to plan, rarely as we hope for them, and we're often thrown off balance. Take an inhale, lift your right knee up to your hip height and hold. If we can practice working from a place of intention, say to breathe through challenge, practice flexibility to change, take your hands to your sides, palms face forward. We can reconsider that out of balance is simply an opportunity to find balance again in a new way. Continue to ground down through your left foot, engage through your left thigh, take your left hand to the outside of your right knee, and reach your right arm out to the side. Continue to stay and to hold and to breathe through the stabilizing standing leg, and then go ahead and try to reach back behind you and bring your gaze over to the right. Notice how this tests your balance. Notice how you feel challenged. Continue to breathe. Pull your knee towards your center with your left hand, and maybe turn your gaze all the way behind you. And again, notice how this tests you and challenges you. Take another breath here. And then bring your hands back to your heart center and extend your left leg straight back. Tula Dandasana, balancing stick, another opportunity to practice balance. Reach your hands forwards, palms face one another, or reach your hands back, palms face the ground. Continue to lower your upper body, lift your extended leg, breathe through your 3 extended legs, arms. Take one more breath here. And then as you exhale, go ahead and let your back foot land behind you. Find a crescent lunge as you reach your arms up overhead and bend into your left knee here. So first, a moment to set up. Bring your left knee over your left ankle and stack your right heel over your right toes. Shoulders over your hips here. Hug your belly button in towards your spine. Inhale, reach a little bit higher. Then as you exhale, peel yourself open. Back heel pivots, plants. Find warrior 2. So 2 arms reach in opposition. Again, bend into that front knee. Shoulders over the hips. Gazes forward. Take another breath here. And as you exhale, reverse warrior. Keep the bend in your front knee. Reach your top hand back. Backhand to somewhere at your back of your thigh, back of your knee. Expand through your chest and lift your gaze towards your top hand. Continue to bend down into your front knee. Breathe up and along your left side body, left fingertips. And then exhale back to warrior two. Stay and hold for a moment. Straighten your front leg and then heel toe your back foot in about an inch, maybe two. Moving into triangle, Trikonasana. Inhale, reach your hands forward over your toes. And then connect your bottom hand to whatever's accessible. Your shin just below your knee, your ankle, your foot, the floor, whatever you can reach but still maintain length in your spine. And then take your top hand and lift it straight up. So wrist, shoulder, shoulder, wrist. We're stacking joints here. Take a breath. Again, expand through your chest. And then as you exhale, return back to warrior two. Momentarily, straighten the front leg again. And then reverse triangle. Take your back hand down, top hand lifts, lift your gaze, breathe up and along your left side. And then as you exhale, bring both hands down, frame your left foot, high on your back toes, plant your palms, and then slide your left foot back to meet your right. First, downward facing dog. So let's set it up. Your feet should be about shoulder width distance. Your hands are the same. Press into all 10 finger pads and send your hips high, the highest point of the shape you've created. You might need to bend your knees here. Your heels don't necessarily need to touch. That can be a journey that take forever. Continue to press your chest towards your thighs here and breathe up and along the back side of your body and let that roll down the backs of your legs. From here, roll forward to a high plank. Make sure we're stacking shoulders, wrists, heels over toes. Hug your belly button in and your upper back towards the sky. You can also modify at any point when we move through this vinyasa on your knees. So whether you're on your knees or you're in a high plank, you're going to inhale and shift forward. And as you exhale, you're going to bend your elbows, keep them close to your ribcage, lower down. Either lift to a cobra or upward facing dog as you inhale. Then as you exhale, press up and back, downward facing dog. If at any point you want to take a vinyasa in a child's pose and hold, please do. Notice when your body needs rest. Another opportunity to practice balance. Take another breath here wherever you are. Stay for the exhale, empty it out. Inhale, gaze forward at your hands, and as you exhale, step, walk, or hop to the front of your mat. Feet together or feet separated. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Hug your belly button in. And as you exhale, forward fold. Head down, hands in front of your toes. Give yourself a moment to hang out. For your spine to decompress. For you to find space between each and every vertebra. As you slowly, with the weight of the upper body, come closer towards the floor. And then when you're ready, next inhale is going to carry you all the way back up, extended mountain pose. Hands above your head, and then exhale, hands back to your heart center, moving into that balance challenge on the other side. I'm turning to face you, but you don't need to turn here, just standing at the front of your mat. Ground down through your right foot. Engage that right thigh, and then as you inhale, left knee comes to hip height. Then you're going to take your right hand to the outside of your left knee and extend your left arm out to the side. Again, out of balance is simply an opportunity to find balance again. Take on the challenge. Go ahead and swipe your back hand back behind you and take your gaze over to the left side. Continue to pull that knee towards center, engage your standing leg, and maybe even turn your gaze somewhere behind you. And notice how this tests you, how this challenges you, Now it's an opportunity to shift your gaze, re-engage that standing leg to find balance again. Breathe here. And as you exhale, hands come back to your heart center and extend that left leg back behind you to a Dandasana balancing stick. Take whatever arm variation you did on the other side or whatever feels good. Allow the lower body to lower, or the upper body to lower, and this back leg to lift. Again, opportunity to find balance, stable through your standing leg, energy through your two arms and your lifted leg. Breathe here. And then as you exhale, let that back foot land behind you. Crescent lunge, bend into the front knee and lift your arms. Breathe up and into your two arms as your pelvis drops and your knee bends a little deeper. One more breath here. And then as you exhale, peel open, back heel drops, warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Make sure that the outside of the right knee presses towards the right side of the mat and the knee really stacks over the ankle. And then equally, that you've got energy and awareness down the pinky toe edge and back leg. Two arms reach in opposition and gazes forward. Take a breath. And then exhale, reverse warrior. Back hand drops, top hand lifts like you're going to high five someone behind you. Expand through your chest, lift your chin and your gaze. Return to that bend in your front knee. Breathe. And then as you exhale, return to warrior two and straighten the front leg. Heel toe your back foot in about an inch, setting up for Trikonasana, triangle pose. Inhale as you reach forward over your toes, over the front of your mat. And then as you exhale, that front hand's going to come down to whatever's accessible for you. Still maintain that long length in your spine. And then reach your top hand up and maybe lift your gaze. Let that test your balance, accept the challenge. Breathe into all extended limbs here. Then inhale back to center and reverse triangle, back hand drops, top arm lifts. Breathe up and along your right leg, right side of your body, up into your right fingertips. Stay for the exhale. One more inhale because it feels so nice. And then exhale back to center. And bring both hands all the way down. Bring the foot high on your back toes. Plant your palms. Right foot meets left, high plank. Or modify as we take our vinyasa. Take an inhale, shift forward. And exhale to lower. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Expand your chest, shoulders drop, gaze lifts. And then exhale, gaze point down, press back. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Take 2 full cycles of breath here. Breathe into all available directions that the ribcage will open up into. And then as you exhale, really let it go. Left leg stays planted. As you inhale, reach your right leg up and back, 3-legged dog. Hips are squared. Palms press down. As you bend your right knee, step your right foot quietly forward and through between your two hands. So first, come light on your fingertips and lift your upper body just enough so that we can slide something in underneath your chest, your belly, and your thigh. Then you're going to reach your left hand back and right hand forward. Again, feel asymmetry in your body, and yet the stability, the grounding that you've accessed in the bottom part of your body, and yet the lifting energy you can simultaneously experience in the upper half of your body. Take another breath here. Then as you exhale, bring your hands back together. Anjali Mudra, prayer position in front of your heart center. You can go ahead and lower your back knee. And then we're moving into a prayer twist. So take the outside of your left elbow and really exaggerate as you twist it over to the outside of your right knee. From here, you're going to press your two palms together and twist your chest towards your palms. So your two hips are going to stay facing the short edge, front edge of your mat. And the twist happens in the middle back, upper back, and maybe in the neck as you turn your gaze. So focus on softening on the exhale, twisting a little deeper. Experiencing physical stability and balance, even in a position where we've got so many points of contact on the ground. Next inhale brings you center. Bring your hands to the inside of your right foot and start by simply sending the hips back and forward, back and forward. So just finding some mobility in the hips here. Starting with the knee close to your shoulder and then slowly letting it move away. Back and forward, knee opens a little bit. Back and forward, knee opens. As the knee opens, you might tip the big toe off the floor and onto the pinky toe edge of your right foot. This allows the hip to open, the thigh to externally rotate. Feel what's available. This might not feel good in your body. It might not be accessible to your body. You might need to just stay with moving forward and backward. Mobility happens slowly, as with flexibility. So never force yourself into anything. Balance is about accepting where you're at in any given moment and trying some new things out. So moving into the deepest variation of this lizard lunge, if you can access lowering onto the forearms, go ahead and do so, but if you need to stay on fists or palms, wherever you're at, let your head really hang. Let the pelvis drop towards the floor, maybe untuck your back toes, and let yourself settle in for a moment to rest. Maybe close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so, and try to breathe through any tension. Anywhere that feels tight, imagine that energy that's holding that muscle tense is a spiral of energy. And if that spiral, say, is moving clockwise, imagine that as you breathe, you send that spiral into a reverse, counterclockwise. So use your breath here. It is your tool. Two more full cycles of breath to really feel this moment. And when you're ready, go ahead and come back onto palms or fists, hands on the inside of the right foot. And then you're going to reach your right hand forward, up, and back. Next, you'll bend your left knee and reach for your foot. So you might not make this connection, and that's absolutely okay. You can continue reaching for the foot, knowing that every time you revisit this, you'll get a little closer. So if you've made that connection, keep the cradle of the foot in the hand, and then send the hips back towards the heel. Holding on to that foot still, you're going to then send the hips back down, rolling over the knee, and sending the stretch a little bit deeper into the hip flexor. So again, give yourself a moment to hold and to feel this moment. One more full cycle of breath. And then you're going to release your foot. Reverse, bring that hand up, back, and down. to the inside of the foot, and then tuck your left toes, lift your back knee, pivot, plant your back foot down, windmill your arms up to find a warrior two, and then straighten your front leg. Again, moving into a triangle, Trikonasana. You're going to inhale, reach your hands forward over the toes, and then lower that hand to wherever, again, is accessible. Top hand lifts. Right hip stacks underneath the left. We're trying to access the stretch in the groin and inner thigh, equally expanding through the chest. All four limbs reaching in a different angle, direction. Allow yourself to feel this stability, yet asymmetry. Continue to breathe up and into the fingertips and toes of both arms and both legs. Inhale brings you back up to center, and then reverse triangle, backhand drops, top hand lifts. Shine your heart towards the sky and lift your gaze. Breathe up from the right toes, up into your right fingertips. The birds are going mad here. One more inhale. Exhale back to center. Both hands drop from the right foot. High on your back toes, plant your palms and find a high plank. From a high plank, you can either modify, move for your variation, your vinyasa. Inhale to shift forward. Exhale to lower. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale, we only back, downward facing dog. 2 full cycles of breath here. To breathe up and down the spine. Up and down the legs. Left and right in your rib cage. And next, inhale, gaze forward. And as you exhale, walk, step, or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Give yourself 1 full cycle of breath to hang out. And then as you inhale, arms reach out and all the way up, extended mountain pose. And then exhale, hands through center and all the way down to your feet as you fold forward again. Inhale, halfway lift. And then as you exhale, keep light on your fingertips and you're going to step your left foot back. Rather, right foot back. So, again, light on your fingertips, lift your chest just enough so that you can slide something in between belly, chest, thigh. Right hand's going to reach back, left hand forward. Again, creating this asymmetry in the body. Grounding and stability. Breathe here. And then as you exhale, bring your hands to heart center in front of your heart and go ahead and lower down onto your back knee. Prayer twist over to the right this time. So outside of your right elbow, all the way over to the outside of your left knee. Again, press your palms into your chest. 2 hips stay square to the front of the mat. Maybe twist your gaze up. Continue to breathe and to soften and twist a little deeper with every exhale. One more full cycle of breath. And then exhale, both hands come to the inside of the left foot. And again, we're just going to move back and forward. Moving slowly into this lizard variation, allowing the body to tell us where we're at, how it's feeling. Starting with the knee close to the shoulder and then letting it fall away. Letting it open up and maybe tipping the big toe off the mat. Seeing what hip mobility we have going on in this left side. Connecting movement to breath, inhaling and exhaling as you move back and forward. And then maybe finding a deeper variation depending on how that feels for you. The deepest variation allowing you to come down onto your forearms only if it feels good, but moving in knowing that feeling good might mean sweet discomfort. Again, allowing yourself to soften, to move in on the end of the exhale. Breathe here, take your moment. And then you're going to come up onto palms or fists inside of the left foot. And then reach the left hand forward, up and back. Bend the right knee and connect the hand to the foot if you can. Or continue to just reach back. So if you've made that connection, keep the cradle. Send the pelvis back towards the heels. And then hold on to the foot and send the hips back, forward, and down. Sending that stretch into the upper part and portion of the hip flexor, quad. And again, take a moment to stay and to hold. Next inhale, release. Top hand lifts back up and over, this time to frame the front foot. Tuck your back toes under. Pivot, plant your back heel, and then lift and open. Find a warrior two. And straighten your front leg. Heel toe your back foot in. And we're going to reach forward on the inhale, moving into triangle pose, Trikonasana. Right hand drops to whatever's accessible. Top hand lifts. Again, the left hand stacks underneath the right as you're trying to access that stretch in the groin and inner thigh. And maybe lift your gaze, expanding your limbs in different directions. But breathing in from your center, from the joints that hold those limbs there, the shoulders, the hips, and then up and along the limbs into the fingertips and toes. Inhale back to center, and then reverse triangle. Back hand drops, top hand lifts. Open and expand the chest. High five someone behind you. Take a breath here. And then exhale, both hands come back down to frame the foot. Iron your back toes. And again, plant the palms, but move into a high plank first and foremost. Hold yourself here, and then maybe modify or stay and hold. Shift forward on the inhale. Exhale to lower. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog, or you might be your child's. And then as you exhale, go ahead and press back. Everybody meet in downward facing dog. 2 full cycles of breath here. Let it come in and feel good, and then on the exhale, really release and let go. Next, you're going to gaze forward and step your feet somewhere about the middle of the shape you've created. Go ahead and cross your legs and come down to seated on your 2 sits bones. So first, you can stay facing the front of your mat. First, from cross-legged, you're going to inhale, lift both arms up overhead. And as you exhale, take your right hand back behind your right hip and extend your left leg out to straight. So right knee's bent, right flat of your foot is in the inner thigh on the left. Then you're going to take your left hand and sweep it forward towards your left toes, over your right knee. And then as you lift the hips, you're going to come onto your shin, onto the top of your foot, and open your shoulder back and up, or arm back, moving into this kneeling wild thing. Then you're going to reverse the same way you came in and sweep that hand back and towards your left toes. And then the right hand's going to come to meet it as you fold forward into a momentary forward fold. So we're going to do that 3 more times. So then you're going to take your right hand back. Inhale to sweep your left arm up and over. Kneeling wild thing. And then as you exhale, reverse the same way you came in. Let this feel really good. It's a beautiful variation and flow to take on. Connect movement to breath here. 2 more. Moving with your breath. Move as fast or as slow as feels right. And then stay folded forward for a moment for 2 full cycles of breath. And then on the inhale, both hands are going to come up to center over your head. And then you're going to extend your right knee or right leg. Bend your left knee, left foot into the inner thigh on the right side. And then left hand's going to come somewhere behind you. You're going to sweep your right hand forward on the inhale, over the bent knee, up as you press the hips back up, kneeling wild thing. And then on the exhale, reverse. Come back down and fold forward, left and right hand to your foot, forehead to your knee. And again, 3 more times, connecting movement to your breath. And then on the last fold here, 2 full cycles of breath. You don't need to think about folding too far forward. This is really just about folding inward, focusing inward, moving your head towards your shin and your foot. And then on the inhale, both hands come up and down to your heart center as you bend both knees across your legs. So come into a comfortable cross-legged position. If this is not comfortable, come into any sitting position that's familiar and comfortable. Don't worry at all about what it looks like. This is all about how it feels. So once you've found something that allows you to sit and to find length in the spine, go ahead and close your eyes. We're going to take a moment to pause here because it's a moment that we least expect to. It's an even better chance to be reminded of balance and the need to rest just as much as we move and as we do. So again, this is not about at all what it looks like. It's all about how it feels. So just allow yourself to get comfortable and to just focus inward. We're not trying to control our thoughts. We're not trying to control our breath. We're just letting ourselves be, letting things come as they are and as they do. Thoughts and breath. So when you're ready, if you have your eyes closed, go ahead and lift your eyelids. Soft gaze, somewhere down, forward in front of you. Just take a moment to come back to your body, to awareness of sensation of the floor beneath your hips, your pelvis, your legs. Awareness to your breath. Try to find that smooth, steady breathing again here. We're going to get ready for crow, or crane, or Bakasana. So first, starting by lifting your arms up over your head, stretching your fingers wide, and squeezing your hands into fists. And then moving between extended and fists, pumping the fingers here, getting them ready to take on the weight that we shift into them when we move into this posture. So, starting to move a little faster. Okay. Next, we're going to come into a tabletop position. Again, stack your joints, so shoulders over hips, or shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Starting with the fingertips pressing forward, we're going to just take some clockwise circles, taking a little bit more weight into the fingertips as you do, and just noticing how this feels in the wrists. If you feel any twinging, if you start to feel any numbness, you might have something that's going to stop you from moving into crow. So you need to take note here. Go ahead and move in counterclockwise circles now. If it feels okay to continue on, go ahead and take your fingertips to press back towards your knees. So your wrists press forward, eyes of your elbows forward, and again, clockwise circles, a little bit more gently and smaller here. And then counterclockwise. Next, you're going to take your left fingertips back towards forward, and then you're going to lower the top of your palm, the top of your hand, on your right side towards the floor, and then you're going to bend that right elbow slightly, and then you're going to, again, squeeze the fingers into fists. Open and extend and squeeze into fists, and just continue to pulse like this. You'll feel the stretch in the front of the wrist, and it should feel really good. A hard to reach and access group of muscles there. Again, connecting movement to breath, moving as fast or as slow as feels good. Go ahead and lower that palm. Take the top of the left hand down. Left elbow bends slightly. And again, extend the fingers. Squeeze the fingers into the fist. And then re-extend and squeeze again. And keep going and stay focused on your breathing. Go ahead and come back into a tabletop and then turn onto your thumbs. So next we're going to get the core ready for what it needs to do to hold us up in crow or crane. So first, take your hands behind your knees and slowly lower your back down, and then take your shins up to parallel to the floor and lower your upper body down. Then you're going to bend your elbows, and as you crunch up and lift your top ribs off the floor, you're going to try to connect your elbows to the tops of your thighs. So this is a dead crow. We're going to hold here, and then we're going to exhale to lower. So we're going to inhale as we crunch and hold, and then exhale down. So we'll do that 3 more times. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, hold, and exhale, release. Another inhale here, and then exhale to lower. Next, you're going to take your hands down to your sides, palms face the floor, And you're going to extend your two legs to hover just about an inch over the floor. And then reach your hands towards your feet as you lift both your ribs, top and bottom, off the floor. So this is a low boat. You're going to hold and then exhale, release. Release everything down when you do. So we're going to do that 4 more times. We're going to inhale to lift, low boat, hold, exhale, release. Inhale, lift, exhale, release. Inhale here, exhale, low. One more inhale here, exhale, down. Let yourself really settle, sink. And then we're going to take our hands to the backs of our knees and roll ourselves back up into a seat. Knees bent, feet are going to stomp down. And then you're going to reach both hands between your two knees. And in this position, we're going to squeeze our knees into our upper arms, outer arms, and squeeze our outer arms into our inner knees. Then you're going to tip your weight back so that you're shifting onto your tailbone and lifting your feet up. So this gets us ready for the position we're going to try to hold but on our hands. So squeeze in, and stomp down. And we're going to do that 3 more times. Inhale here, squeeze and hold. And exhale, release. Inhale, squeeze and hold. And exhale, release. And as you do this, you want to stay proud through your chest. Press the chest up, squeeze and hold, and lower it down. 1 more just for good measure. Inhale here. And then exhale, release. So moving into crow or crane, I'll show you both. And then you have the opportunity to pause, rewind, and follow back through. So first, coming from forward fold, you're going to plant your palms down into the mat. So you need to bend your knees as much as you need to so that your palms connect. Next, you're going to bend your elbows so that you create little shelves with the backs of your arms. So bend the elbows, come high on the toes, and then you're going to first, for crow, take your knees to the outside of your upper arms. This might feel great or might not feel right. Your other option is crane. Elbows bent, shelves created, high on your toes, and the bend of your knee is going to come up into your armpit or somewhere at the back of your top arm. So you've got your 2 variations, crow, crane, and then you're going to play around with shifting your weight forward. So my head comes way over my hands, and you might start by lifting one foot, lifting the other foot, or eventually lifting both feet. Hug the belly button in, press the back of the heart up towards the sky. And fly. So take a moment to play around, to feel this out, to experiment. Maybe pause, do so. If you're ready to move on, you're going to go ahead and take a seat, interlace your fingers, and rotate your hands in circles, just counter stretching the wrists. And then in the reverse direction. And then releasing. So, balance. Doing everything we did in standing in line. Resting just as much as we move. So, you're going to again bend the knees, stop the feet flat, hands behind the knees, and slowly lower it down. Our first position allows our head and our upper body to be completely flat. And then you're going to extend your left leg and let your right knee just fall open to the side. Similar to our balancing challenge, go ahead and take your arms to whatever feels good. This isn't so much about the stretch as it is about resting. That scared me. So if you want to prop something in underneath your hip or your knee on the right side, do so. Just allow this to feel really comfortable. Allow yourself to really sink and settle. Allow your focus to maintain on your steady, smooth breathing, but allow yourself to focus in on sensation of your breath. Drop your thoughts into your physical body. One more full cycle of breath here. And your knees are going to come up towards the sky. Stop your feet again. And then, similar to the beginning, take your left hand to the outside of your right knee and guide that knee over your body, over to the left as you move into a gentle twist. You can pop anything in underneath the knee here. Extend your opposite arm out to the side. Maybe even turn your gaze. And again, just let yourself settle in. Try not to hover anything off the ground. Really feel supported here. Do whatever you need to provide that. But of course, focus on yourself. Focus back inward to smooth and steady. One more full cycle of breath. And the next inhale, your knee's going to come up to center. And you're going to go ahead and extend that right leg. Bend your left knee. And again, just let the knee fall open to the side. Dropping in underneath anything that you need so that the knee doesn't feel like it's stretching out too much of the hip, but that it's Feels good. Again, just settle and sink into stillness here. If you notice that the thoughts wander, pull them back in on your breath and on your breathing. One more full cycle breath. Next inhale, your knee comes to center, your foot comes flat. Take your right hand to the outside of your left knee, and then use that hand to guide the knee over to your right side. Extend your left arm out to a T to brace, and then again, prop anything in underneath the thigh, the knee, and the left, so that it's not hovering, but that it feels supported. And maybe turn your gaze over to your left hand. So again, remind yourself of your intention, your heart's intention that spoke to you at the beginning of class. This might not have been words specifically, might have just been a sense of feeling that you had, of how you wanted to focus on yourself for this hour. And if it was words, pull that back into your mind's eye here. Remind yourself of what your heart intended for you to stay focused on yourself. Again, don't think about what these poses look like, but rather how they feel. And let them feel really good. One more full cycle of breath. And you can always hold these poses for longer if you'd like. You can always pause the video where you need to. Next, inhale, that knee is going to come back up to center, and both legs are going to extend, and both arms are going to reach up over your head. So similar to the start of class, we're going to start by lengthening through our right side, reaching our right fingertips away from our toes, breathing up and along our right side, stretching tall. And then exhaling back to center. Reaching long on the left side. Left fingertips are away from your left toes. Breathe up and along that side of your body. Exhaling back to center. And then creating a banana shape over to the left. Feet over to the left. Your right foot might come over your left. And then arms over to the left corner of the mat. Connecting the hands in whatever way allows you to hold this shape. Once you've found a way that you can do this comfortably, again, return to stillness. One more full cycle of breath here. And then exhale to center. And slowly and mindfully moving that shape into the other direction. Taking the banana shape over to the right. Finding whatever way allows you to hold this shape in your body. Get comfortable and then settle. Knowing that you can always adjust positions and hold them a little bit longer. You can do whatever your body needs so that you're very comfortable. That's the utmost importance here. Inhale. Bring your upper body back to center. And then bring your lower body to center. Bend your knees, squeeze them in towards your chest. Hug your knees. Maybe reach for your feet. Give yourself a big squeeze. Become a tiny ball. And then on the exhale, extend. Moving into your final rest, take your legs as wide as feels good, your arms as wide as you like, your hands to your belly, heart extended at your sides, whatever allows you to be final, most rested, most comfortable that you can be. This is the pose that really allows us to feel balance in the experience of resting. To feel restored by giving back to ourselves this final gift that we earn each time we practice. Settle in. Rest and relax. Bend your toes. Up your ankles, shins and thighs, hips and belly, chest and shoulders, arms and hands, face and neck, and furrow your eyebrows if they are. Release your tongue if it's pressed against the roof of your mouth. And really just be here. Release the control or attention to your thoughts or your breathing, and just let yourself be. If you'd like to continue, you can. Please feel free to do so. Just stop listening to me. If you're moving out, excuse my sneeze. Go ahead and roll over onto either side, fetal position. Cradle your head. Hold here. If you needed to take whatever movement felt good to get into this, give yourself time to do that, to feel that. If you're with me, press your top hand into the floor. Lift yourself gently into a comfortable seat, whatever's comfortable, never worrying about what it looks like. Take your hands together in front of your heart, Anjali Mudra, and just again acknowledge whatever your focus was, whatever your heart intended for you, to focus inward and on yourself. Press your thumbs into your beating heart and acknowledge the heart and the courage that you had to test yourself, to test your balance, to accept the challenge. Take your thumbs to your third eye, space between your eyebrows, and thank yourself for what that does for you. Testing yourself, challenging yourself, experiencing out of balance, and how it's an opportunity to find balance again. To accept the challenge. Thank you so much for letting me guide you, for being here, for sharing your practice. Namaste. Okay.